So are you a dog lover or a cat lover? Because now we have some dogs who are in need of a loving home. Back here with Michelle Muller, Development Coordinator from Mainline Animal Rescue, MLAR. So who's this little cutie?
This little guy is Cheddar.
Oh.
And he's a sweetheart. And he's about 8 years old. He's what we call a senior pet. And we wanted to really feature a senior dog today because a lot of people don't realize they have a lot of benefits to adopting an older dog or cat. He's not going to run around on your furniture. You know, he's got a lot of love to give and just the right amount. He's very laid back. He'll sit on your lap all day long. And you see, he'll just lay down in seconds. I always say I love Huey because I adopted him as an older dog, and I could just put him down and he'll just fall asleep. So, you know, you really don't have to worry about those puppies teething on every piece of furniture and ruining, you know, carpets and things like that. They have a lot of love to give, but they're past that point in their life.
Right. Although
Yeah.
8 years old for a small dog, his life expectancy.
Absolutely. He can live many years after that. He could double that. Right, Cheddar?
Yeah.
You can see, especially a lot of times when they get into a home and their right family, their personalities come out. And all of a sudden, Huey got a lot more energy when he came home with me. I said, wait a second, you're not as old as we thought. So it really is remarkable to see when they really flourish in a home. That's all they're really looking for.
Is there a home that you'd rather see Cheddar go into? In other words, with small children, can they hurt a little dog like this, or is there something that you look for in particular?
Sure, that's a good question. It is really dependent on the family. Small children are not usually great for older dogs or smaller dogs, but there are exceptions to that rule. He's great with other dogs. He is actually in our front office most of the time in the kennel, so he is with a whole group of dogs all day long. And he gets along with everybody. So he really is a well-liked guy. And
He's a little lover.
He is. So he could easily fit into a lot of different homes.
Oh, he's sweet.
Yeah, right.
And what about for winter time? I mean, you obviously have a little coat on him.
Yes, we do.
But do you have
Yeah.
some tips on winter care for the dogs? I mean, it's frigid out.
Sure. Yeah, it's very important to remember, especially for smaller dogs like Cheddar. You can see he kept his coat on inside as well because he shivers a little bit. They don't really have a whole lot of fur to cover them. So in these past few weeks that we've had really bad temperature, drops, it's important to not keep them outside as long, to really just let them out and make sure that there's not rock salt that can hurt their paws as well. They do sell pet safe salt, which is great now. So to make sure if you're taking them on a walk to be careful because those can really get embedded in their paws and cause them a lot of pain. So the best solution is if that does happen is just when they come home.
Wipe it off.
Wipe it off, get some warm water and just dip their feet into it and give them a small bath. So. But it's really important to make sure if it's too cold for you, it's definitely too cold for them.
Yeah. Even for my buddy boy, who's our rescue dog, who's a lab shepherd mix, the one night I let him out, and boy, he came right back in. It was one of those, the wind chill was, right at 0. So, I do think that even with the bigger dogs, with the big coats, it's cold.
It is cold, and it's really, you want to think about it the same as the hot temperatures in the summer. So when, there's a lot of people are aware now that you can't leave your dog in a hot car. It's the same thing with the cold temperatures. You can't leave your dog outside when it's freezing out. It has the same really harmful effects on them and can unfortunately really go south very quickly. So you want to be careful to make sure that they're monitoring them when they're outside and that they're doing okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what else I noticed about my buddy boy is how much water he drinks inside with the heat on.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm constantly filling his, not constantly, but I'm filling the water dish a lot more.
More often. Yeah.
Because it's dry. We're all dry.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of times your dogs and your cats adjust to your home environment. So whatever is comfortable for you is most likely going to be the best situation for them too. So if you feel like it's dry in the house and you have the heat on, it's right. You're going to have to give them some more water. Same thing about outside and making sure they've got a stylish little coat like Cheddar. It doesn't hurt when it looks pretty cute. So.
And what's the process of Cheddar? And we have 2 other doggies,
Sure.
but before we go, say thank you to Cheddar.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to adopt Cheddar, what's the process?
So the best bet is to go onto our website, which is www.mlar.org. That's the easiest way. You can actually scroll through and see all of our adoptable animals, dogs, cats, bunnies, and every little small companion. And then you can see their photos, see their story, and you can put an application in there. So we just ask what your home is like, if you have other animals at home, what you're looking for, That really gives us a better sense of what you're looking for. And then when you come out, you don't have to look at every single, we have about 250 dogs, and about 80 some cats. So that to really streamline the process, you can be there all day looking at every single one. So when you do come for the appointment, we say, here are 10 that we think would be a really good fit. So that's the first step, is just to go online. You can also find us on Pet Finder as well, and see who catches your eye. And if you're not sure, come on in and we'll show you quite a few that we have.
Well, we have 2 more dogs to show everybody at home. So Cheddar will say thank you. We'll be right back with Michelle and more doggies when we come right back. I know you've been thinking about getting a dog, right? The kids have been bugging you. Well, here's your opportunity. Yes, speak out, baby. We have some dogs in need of loving homes, and Michelle Muller, our friend from MLAR, has been telling you. Yeah, that's Sydney. He says, give me a home,
so
please.
Excited. He's like, already, it's time, it's time.
Well, since he's excited, tell us a little bit about Sydney, and then we'll get to Penny.
Yep, Sydney is about a 4-year-old. We think maybe a Chihuahua Pug mix. He's got a couple interesting breeds in him, but he's a sweetheart. You can see high energy, loves to play.
Although he's been in the studio this whole show.
He has, yep, and totally fine.
Said a peep. He's on live TV. It's like, yeah, I'll put the
He's trying to show off. He's trying to show off. Loves other dogs, gets along great. So he wants a partner to play, whether that's dog or a kid or a human. He would love somebody who's going to play with him. You can see he's just raring to go. And he actually came to us from another shelter. Like we were talking about it a little while ago, we get about a third of our animals from other shelters. And he came to us from a group called Angel's Gate. And they, unfortunately, were not able to care for their animals anymore. So we stepped in and were able to take Sydney. He is our special needs dog because he has, aside from the barking, he actually has seizures, which you can see. He's a normal, healthy, happy, active dog. So it really is something that can be well maintained. He's on medication for it, and you would never know the difference when you look at him. He's just a happy guy. Yeah. Right?
I don't know. Does he see Cheddar? Maybe he sees Cheddar.
Might.
He's still in the studio. So
I know.
He's like, oh, I want to go by my buddy Cheddar. Yeah, my man.
I know. I think I might hand him off to our volunteers to make sure.
You want to hand him off?
Yeah.
Now he'll be fine.
Exactly.
And that's the thing I want everybody at home, I want everybody to know. He's been in the studio live this whole time, quiet, not a peep.
Yep.
But he got up here.
He's too excited.
He got a little excited.
He's too excited.
Penny, on the other hand, is so laid back.
Exactly. On the other hand, there's Penny. She's a sweetheart. She's about 4 years old. And she came to us as an interesting situation. You can see as she walks a little bit, she's got a little swagger to her. When she came to us, we realized she had some birth defects, and it happens a lot with what we call backyard breeders, people who maybe don't have professional breeding experience, or they just think they want to make some extra money and they breed dogs, and a lot of times they can come out with some serious health issues. Luckily, Penny is doing fine. She actually had both of her hips replaced when she came to us. So she's basically learned how to walk again. She really needed a lot of help. So she gets around just fine now. She's living pain-free and as happy as can be. So she's doing really well, and she's just looking for somebody to really take care of her.
She's such a lover. I don't know if you could see, but even I turned her around just gently. Yeah. And she just took that instruction, just that,
Absolutely.
That I would do with my dog because I know him, but she's just very in tune.
Yep, and you can see she's happy as can be. She's content anywhere. She really just melts in your arms. So she's a great companion. She loves people, she loves dogs. She's pretty much the whole package. That's what we like to say.
And she's what kind of collie?
She's some sort of border collie, might be a mix. There's actually a specific breed, I think it's called a Karelian dog, that a lot of people have said she looks like. Okay. But again, because she was bred, somewhat irresponsibly, we have to say, it happens a lot of times. You see, they either like to get certain colors because that's more attractive to people, and that can cause blindness. I mean, there's a lot of really dangerous things that happens when you breed your dogs. Right. So you have to be careful of all these things. But as you can see, she's doing much better.
Yeah. You fixed her all up.
Exactly.
So she's ready for a good home.
Yeah.
So it must be hard for you sometimes because you want to take all the dogs home.
It can be a little tough. There's so many, and there's so many that have really just wonderful stories to them. And you know that a lot of the myths we try and debunk is really there's nothing wrong with these shelter pets. You know, even if they have seizures or if they have something that maybe comes along with it, there's really nothing wrong. They are happy, healthy pets that just want a loving home. So it's great to see that there's so much potential there. And as long as people open their arms and open their homes up to them, they flourish and they thrive, and that's the best part of it. We get to see that happy ending.
Yeah, well, and for me, as you know, I mean, I believe in just adopting the pets instead of going to a breeder, let's say, because I do think first of all, it's a good thing to do and a good lesson to teach people if you have kids.
Right.
But I swear they know that you saved them, that you adopted them, and that that's something added.
There's a loyalty there. There's a loyalty and a dedication that we do see in shelter pets that you just don't. A lot of times, sometimes you don't see that in other dogs or cats. But I will say there's responsible breeders. We do like to get that message out. You know that not every breeder is harmful or irresponsible.
How do you know?
That's a good question. You have to do your homework. You really have to research it like anything else. And you have to make sure when you go and you can visit the dogs, you can visit the mother and the father. If they're hiding them in the back for some reason, there's a reason for that. They may not be in good, healthy conditions. So you want to be sure that you really get to know the parents of the dog itself, the people who are the breeders. It's a relationship that you want to feel comfortable with. And if you feel like something's up and you have a red flag, there's usually something more to it.
Well, Michelle Muller, we want to thank you so much, and I hope that you call me in a couple days and that with some good news that Penny or the other dogs or cats, or maybe another animal off of the website, off the MLAR website, Mainline Animal Rescue. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I know the dogs are excited. And
we'll have you back.
Good.
Make sure you adopt. Have a good one. Oh.